Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I'm Stylosa, and this is Orisa gameplay. Now, this is really solid, full-on gameplay. This is from Quick Play on the PTR, but obviously it's one hero limit and all of that good stuff. So, we're going to get to see Orisa, and I really want to call her Osiris for some crazy reason. If I do call her that in this video, I apologize, but we're going to see her and how she kind of plays. Now, what we're going to do is kind of go through what I've experienced so far with her. Like, I've been playing her on my stream, and I've got a couple of hours of sort of experience on her right now. What I'm noticing is you kind of want to deploy this barrier. So you've got a 900 HP deployable barrier. That's on a 12-second cooldown, I believe. You'll notice now it's actually on cooldown. Like, I can drop it down again. So if that barrier takes 900 damage, I can instantly replenish it. So effectively, you've got an 1800 HP barrier at the start of the game, which is crazy powerful. And obviously, throughout various points in the game, you can still do it. So what I'm trying to do is use her how she's, I think, intended to be played. Like Jeff said in the developer update video, she is a anchor tank. So I want to sort of anchor a position, right? I want to sort of keep things, you know, protected and whatnot. Now, I'm going to go over the abilities as I'm using them because, obviously, I'm in a game, so I'm just, like, spamming them off. The shift ability, or fortitude, I mean, if you guys are playing on console and whatnot, it'll ultimately be different there. But, however, obviously, it's only available on PC PTR at the moment, unfortunately. But Fortify gives you, I believe, 50% damage reduction on all incoming damage, which is insane. But it also makes you immune to crowd control effects. So that means you can't be hit by Reinhardt's Earth Shatter, you can't be put to sleep. Basically, anything that takes over control of your hero, well, it doesn't affect you. You can't be controlled by May's Blizzard. You're just ridiculous, right? You can just do what you like. But it makes you super tanky. So what that means is, you've kind of got this, you can drop your barrier, and then you can kind of, if your barrier gets destroyed, pop Fortify and sort of escape. Now, when you're firing the weapon, the fusion driver, you do move slower, kind of like D.Va, right? Pretty much like old D.Va, it feels like, because you move fairly slow. And you'll notice that I'm not very good with accuracy with this weapon. That is because it is a projectile weapon. It's not hit scan. So hit scan means it would instantly hit the target, right? Wherever you're firing at, like wherever the crosshair is, it's going to hit. Projectile, it means there's a travel time. I think the reason for that is probably balance, as you would literally do too much damage and it'd be a bit ridiculous. So yeah, the other ability that you guys are seeing is the sort of the mini graviton pulse. I think the ability is officially called Halt, which is not a great name. But what it does, that green thing, you can fire it off, which is your secondary fire. And when you activate it, it pulls all targets towards its location, which of course means that you can pull people off the map. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, you'll notice that I threw out a clip which shows, well, basically me pulling Genji back as he tries to escape on Lijiang Tower, and then pulling Reinhardt into the abyss below, which is absolutely beautiful. So, what is the playstyle with this hero? Well, it looks like the early initial playstyle is kind of like Reinhardt, because that's what they want him to be, or her to be, is sort of like, not a replacement for Rein, but a different option. Now, when you use Orisa and Reinhardt together in conjunction, things get interesting. Anyway, this is the ultimate. This is Supercharger. What this does is buff damage. Now, I don't actually know what the percentage damage buff is. It might be 30%, might be 20%. I literally don't know. I also don't know what it stacks with. I think it stacks with Nano Boost. I don't know if there's a cap on damage buff. If there is, I'm not aware of that, and as I said, I don't know the specific details just yet, but it's very powerful. The way that ultimate works is crazy. If you have line of sight to your team from the Supercharger, they get the damage buff, and you can see it looks like the Mercy damage buff beam, the blue beam. It can be destroyed though. I think it lasts for 20 seconds. No, sorry, it lasts for 15 seconds, I think. And when it's destroyed, obviously, you know, it's destroyed. So what you've got to do is sort of put it in a position where it can see your team. Remember, it's just line of sight, so it literally doesn't have a range. If it can see you, it gives you the damage buff, which is massive, like huge. But you've got to keep it alive, right? You can't just chuck it down in the middle of the fight, because people will destroy it. You can see I've finally been killed. Now, it took some effort for them to kill me. Luckily, we get the Mercy Res, which is awesome, and this lets me go back into the fight. Notice what just happened there, though. This is crucial. Sombra just annihilated me. I think we're going to go, like, the chat on the stream when I was streaming, they were like, oh, it's Barrier Watch. And it kind of made me laugh, because we kind of are going to go down that route, right? And it's going to have a little bit of an impact on, well, quite a big impact, I think, on Sombra. Because if you've got Reinhardt and, like, Orisa barriers all over the place, well, who's going to counter that? Well, Sombra can remove them with the EMP, so it makes her ultimate quite powerful. Also, Junkrat as well. Jeff kind of touched on this on the announcement video for the hero, and he was like, well, yeah, Junkrat is pretty good at destroying barriers, so suddenly, Junkrat spamming the barrier might be pretty strong. Like, getting rid of barriers is going to be a pretty legitimate tactic, I think, especially with the introduction of this hero. Do I think this hero is OP? Now, before we get into this discussion, the hero has just been released, guys. There is no... I mean, did you see that little, like, mini pulse, and then I dropped down the supercharger? It's awesome. Like, it's so awesome. Oh, my God. So fun to play this hero. But, yeah, do I think it's OP? It's early days. We can't really tell. I mean, look at that supercharger. It was in a bad position, so they destroyed it. Whole hog destroyed it there. But if I put it in a better position or protected it with my barrier a little bit better, which you can throw quite far, because it's... You aim and you launch it. It's kind of like a... Oh, actually, that there's a huge point as well. Look at that. I got pulse bombed on my face, and I just popped Fortitude. No, not Fortitude. Is it Fortitude? Fortify, that's it. Fortify. And 50% damage reduction. Pulse bomb's literally going to do nothing to me. So you can kind of eat it. She is super tanky. Orisa is, like, really, really tanky. Like, you see the pull there? That is crazy. Like, I've been trying to work out ways of using this. I mean, I'm nano boosting. I've got supercharged there, which is just ludicrous damage. But ways of using the graviton, the mini graviton surge, because that's basically what it is. I found firing it into teams and just detonating it, so pulling people together, is really effective, because when it happens to you, it's very jarring. It's like, oh God, and I've been pulled. Now, I've already seen people go, oh, I don't really like this ability when it hits me, because it takes control of your character, and I don't think people are too hot on that. But it really messes up your aim. So if you're like, you know, literally anyone, if you're playing Soldier, for example, and you're firing away, and suddenly you get pulled in a direction you don't expect to get pulled into, it messes your aim up. Like, it totally messes it up. One thing I'm not doing too great in this clip is deploying my barrier fast enough, so I've got the cooldown to just basically drop another one as soon as it gets destroyed. But remember, the hero has literally just been released. That is, of course, why I've got a legendary skin and got a golden weapon, because I'm an idiot. What do I think, though, about the hero as a hero just for the fun sake of playing the hero? Is it fun? Yeah, it is. I think it really suits my playstyle, though. I like Reinhardt. I like Soldier. It's kind of like Reinhardt and Soldier have had a baby. It's a horrible Reinhardt Soldier baby, but they've had a baby. And you can sort of play this sort of almost pillbox, sandbag kind of MG nest sort of gameplay where you can move forward with your shield. Obviously, she's really, really strong on choke points. Really strong on payload maps, or anywhere where there's choke, she seems super strong. On King of the Hill maps, I have not had that much success, to be honest. Probably because I just don't know how to play her and people don't know how to support her properly and whatnot on those maps. But she doesn't seem as effective. I think I would say, like, my early kind of thoughts on that is Reinhardt is still probably a bit more effective on King of the Hill. Thing is, though, when you put Reinhardt and Orisa together, it's crazy, and that will be a subject for another video, because I've got actually some really good footage of that, and I really want to make a detailed video on that, because it's just ridiculous. But this hero seems mental. It seems really, really mental. Like, its weapon, you've probably noticed, it's got 200 bullets in it. I think in my initial video, I was like, oh, it's like Diva, you don't need to reload. I was just overtaken by the hype of the whole situation. You do need to reload, but it's 200 bullets. You can just fire, and you can just keep firing, and then you can just keep firing. I mean, if anything, I was reloading too early a lot of the time, because I was like, oh, I need to reload. But it's like, no, you got 200 bullets. So I'm using Fortify there. You can see it takes 10 seconds to recharge, that does. So every 10 seconds, you've got a 50% incoming damage reduction, alongside being immune to all crowd control effects, which is really, really good and gives you a lot of survivability like crazy. So I've got into this engagement here. I've dropped my barrier down. I used my shift ability there, so I was immune to crowd control, because I think I would have got hit by that earth shatter, because I don't think my barrier blocked it. It might have done, though. It was pretty close. So look at this. You just sort of got this massive barrier you can drop down. You know what it feels like to me is when Symmetra was changed on the PTR before she went to live. The fact Symmetra could throw the... I mean, look at that damage. Oh, baby. The fact that she could throw her shield into your face meant that, like, if McCree came up to you, you could throw it at him and he'd flashbang the shield. You can kind of do that with Orisa, because they don't know if you've got your barrier. So Hog comes up to you and he's going to, I don't know, hook you. You just throw your shield down and he can't hook you. Or you're like, if McCree tries to get you, you throw it down. So that was the defense. And what we're going to do now is look at the statistics. Because remember, guys, this is PTR. This isn't live. This is very early days. So when people start going like, oh god, it's OP and whatnot, you can't really say that just yet. May well be, might not be, we'll never know. So I end up getting play of the game, so I think this is going to be when I was damage boosted and supercharged. Yeah, so I got my supercharger down, and I'm just doing damage, like doing absolute work. Drop my shield down. I used my Fortify there, which I kind of really didn't need to because I was behind the barrier, but look at that damage, holy hell. As somebody says, hello YouTube, hello, hello. So I did a lot of damage. Now, for a tank, I mean, we can have a debate about this all day. Tanks in Overwatch do tons of damage. Look at Roadhog. Zarya as well, when she's charged, does a ton of damage. Yeah, it's... I mean, that's a debate for another video, I think. But very interesting, like pretty solid stats. So what we're going to look at now is Orisa on attack on King's Row. And this should be... this will be quite interesting. So what we're going to do is obviously just push through the choke and just get involved in a pitch battle, because that's kind of what she is. Farah is a pretty strong counter, and also Widowmaker seems a very strong counter to Orisa, because she's sort of... You've got like a very big hitbox, and obviously you move kind of slow. Yeah, you can soak a load of damage, but they can just sit there and pile away and shoot at you. And you'll notice, like, the kind of strategy I'm using is just fire, fire, fire. Keep firing, keep dropping the barrier, keep moving forward. Like, you see that there? I fired it off there and pulled them in. It messes them up. Probably messed up Widowmaker's aim. Like, why Widowmaker's standing there, I don't know, but it is just annoying. Like, she's just annoying with that ability. Look at that. Again, quite a lot of damage. I was landed a lot of headshots there. You've got, like, I mean, one thing I've kind of got to stress, it is difficult to land the damage when people are moving around, because you've got the delay, because it's a projectile weapon. It's not just total hit scan, so it is kind of difficult to like predict where the shots are going. But she's got so much ammunition, you just keep firing, and there's no accuracy statistic on her, which is kind of funny. Like, so when you bring up the score screen, it's like accuracy 0. It probably would be very low anyway. But then it begs the question, why has Junkrat got an accuracy thing? Whatever. Maybe it's just an issue. But look at this slow, advanced kind of tactic I'm using. And imagine if I had a Reinhardt with me now, instead of the Zarya. It just would be like an impenetrable wall of like shed loads of barrier, just slowly moving forward, moving forward. Now remember, Orisa is early days, right? She will probably have changes made to her before she goes live and all of that stuff. So don't go too crazy with like, oh, she's OP and all of that stuff just yet. It's kind of stupid. If anybody is doing that right now, yeah, it's pathetic, honestly, because she's literally just come out. We don't know. We need to play her more to find out. But this has been a very detailed video, I think, and I want you guys to comment below. I mean, we still haven't finished the game yet. We will continue to the end of this game, but I want you guys to give me your thoughts on this hero. It is a replacement. Well, no, replacement's not a right word. It is an alternative to Reinhardt. It's an alternative choke control tank that anchors the team. That's why they refer to it as an anchor-style tank. Somebody the team can play around. Is it as strong as Reinhardt in that sense? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh boy. Because
Reinhardt can move forward, right? And Reinhardt's got the barrier with him. Orisa's a bit different because she deploys the barrier and then you work around the barrier. Yeah, you can put the barrier on the payload, which is why I think she's fairly strong on payload maps. She actually works quite well with Bastion as well. So a lot of people probably thinking, oh my god, Bastion, he's right in the meta right now. He's got a slight nerf to him at the moment on PTR, which I think is a reduction to his Ironclad. Instead of 35% damage reduction, it's 20%. But he works quite well because like the concave shape, like the little sort of mini dome, is such a nice shape to just hide the Bastion in. It's crazy. So I've used my ultimate there and I've pulled them across. So the ultimate is like, you can see it's still working. It's damage boosting everyone. That Winston's damage boosted. It's just such a powerful ultimate. This is. It's a kind of unique ultimate in a way, but it's very unique. But it's very, very powerful. Like you can protect it, so they literally cannot kill it. Like Jeff says in the video when he's in the dev update talking about the hero, like part of the playstyle is thinking about where to put this supercharger down, but I think if you just put it down and literally protect it, or your Reinhardt stands on it, or you're there with the Reinhardt or whatever. I mean, look at that there. High Noon just went off and I just dropped my barrier and it was like, well, okay, no more High Noon. Well, he did get 2 kills, but it wasn't going to kill me. She is a super interesting hero though, guys. I am honestly quite shocked by the way she plays. First and foremost, she's very fun to play, at least for me. I think she's going to shake the game up in a massive way. Is she OP? We don't know yet. It's way too early to tell. It's phenomenal. This is just phenomenal. Like I don't think I've seen anybody actually say she's bad. Some people, obviously people will go, oh, we don't like her and whatever. But you really cannot judge it. It's too early. It's awesome. It's just awesome. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it at this. I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. Orisa is the new hero and she is... oh, she's quite fun to play. Holy hell. I'll catch you next time, guys. Toodaloo.